After this video, you won't have to worry about making mistakes when talking about your emotions in Korean. You'll have all the words, phrases, and slang that you'll need to make sure that you're actually understood and expressing yourself in the right way. 멘붕. This is exactly how I would describe all of 2020. Can you guess what it is? 멘붕 is slang that is derived from two words. mental, which means mental, and 붕괴, which means deconstruction or collapse. So, 멘붕 literally means a mental collapse and has the same meaning as having a mental breakdown. See now why I compared it to 2020? So, if you're taking a test and it was so stressful, you can say something like 시험 보다가 멘붕 왔어.
벌 받았어, 언니. 난 멘붕.
안습. Okay, so the correct translation of this is watery eyeballs. No joke. It's derived from the words 안구에 습기 자다, which means a dampening of the eyeballs. 안습 is used in Korean to describe a situation that was so embarrassing or humiliating that you cry or your eyes get wet. So obviously, you use this expression when you're feeling really sad or embarrassed or shameful. A common way to use this slang would be 정말 안습이다 or 진짜 안습이다.
정말 안습이다.
앙궁. 앙궁 is so savage. I love it. It derives from the two words 안, which means not, and 궁금해, which means curious. So 앙궁 means not interested. So if you want to tease your friends, you can use 앙궁. Let's say your best friend is talking about your boyfriend. If you want to tease her a little bit, you could just say 앙궁 to say that you're not interested in what she has to say about him. If you do say it in the wrong circumstance though, it could come across as really rude. So I would say, just to be safe, use this with the friends that you are okay teasing, that you have that sort of relationship with. 깜놀. This one is very fun to say, and you say it when something really surprises you. 깜놀 is short for the two words 깜짝, which means a look of surprise, and 놀라, which means to be amazed or surprised. 깜놀 is just a nice shortened version of that. So if you're watching a scary movie and something really surprises you, you can be like, 깜놀, or 깜놀이다, 웃기다. This is one of my all-time favorite Korean slang expressions. 웃기다 combines the verb stem 웃어, which means to smile or laugh, and 슬퍼, which means sad. So the definition of 웃기다 is funny but sad. Let's say you take a test and you just bomb it. You completely fail. It's almost funny. Then you could say something like 웃기다 to describe the situation and how you're feeling. 노잼. I heard this phrase literally all the time when I was studying abroad in Korea. And no, it has nothing to do with jam, in case you are wondering. No is for no or not, and jam is the shortened version of 재미있다, meaning interesting or fun. So if you see something you don't think is interesting or fun, you can just say no jam. You can also joke around with friends and call them no jam to say that they aren't fun or interesting. But again, only use this with friends you're comfortable joking around with. 꿀잼. This is the opposite of 노잼 and means that something is really fun or interesting. 꿀 means sweet like honey, and 잼 again is short for 재미있다. I don't really know the logic behind this, but when you put 꿀 and 잼 together, it means that something's really funny or really interesting. You can say something like 그 게임 완전 꿀잼. 두근두근. This is by far one of my favorite Korean words to pronounce. I love it. I mean, it just slides off your tongue. 두근두근. And the meaning is so cute too. This is Korean slang for pounding heart. But you say it when you really like someone. An example of this word could be 나 심장이 너무 두근두근거려. You can also hear this phrase in the song What is Love by Twice. Now, before we move on from all the Korean slang and into more positive emotions in Korean, let's talk about 기분 and 느낌 for a second. Because when you look them up, you get the same definition. They both mean feeling, but they are both used in different ways. I know you might be confused for a second, but just stay with me. 기분 describes specifically how I am feeling, whereas 느낌 describes the overall feel, vibe, or atmosphere. For example, 기분이 좋아요 means that I'm feeling good, like I'm in a good mood. 기분이 좋아요. But if you say 느낌이 좋아요, it means that the overall vibe or atmosphere is really good. It's not specifically about you anymore. So 기분 is basically to show about how you're feeling, whereas 느낌 is more about how the atmosphere feels, how the vibes are. Now that we have that explained, let's move on to some more positive feelings and emotions. By the way, if you want more examples of all of these words and phrases and how to use them, getting real world examples of them, I'm going to leave a link for you for FluentU in the description below, where you can go over all these words again and watch a lot more video examples. It'll help you understand the differences between words and how to use them a lot easier. So yeah, go check it out, practice these words, and come back and let me know if they help you or not. 행복해. The definition of 행복해 is to be happy. For example, 나는 정말 행복해 or 우리는 행복해. And if you want to make this verb formal, simply use 존댓말, formal Korean, and say 행복해요. This is the simplest way to express that you're in a good mood or that you're happy. 만족해. When you use 만족해, you're saying that you're satisfied with something. So, for example, if you are satisfied with your grades, you can say 난 내 성적에 만족해. Twice also uses this phrase in their song Yes or Yes. 기분이 좋다. We already learned that 기분 means feeling, or how am I feeling. And if you pair it together with 좋다, which means good, according to FluentU, we get feeling good. This means that you're in a good mood. You can say this when you're with a friend, having a good time together, or maybe you're on your date with a significant other and you're really enjoying yourself. You can just say 기분이 좋다. Or 기분이 좋아요 if you want it to be a little more formal. Bonus, you can also say 참 좋다 to say that's great when talking about certain things. For example, you can say 바람 참 좋다 to say that the breeze feels really nice. 참 is simply an enhancer and means the same thing as very. Negative emotions. 슬퍼. This is the most basic way to say that you're sad in Korean and a pretty common way as well. So if you're not having the best day and someone asks you how you're doing, you can reply by saying 나는 오늘 정말 슬퍼.
가끔 아빠를 보면 슬퍼.
화나. You use 화나 when you're upset or angry at someone or something. And if you're so mad that you're at the point of being furious, you can say 몹시 화나요. It even sounds angry when you say it. Some more examples include 나는 정말 화나 and 이 음식이 맛없어서 화나. 질투. Simply speaking, 질투 equals jealousy. You can use this to describe yourself being jealous, or when talking about someone else, describing them as jealous. Some examples from FluentU include 우리 언니는 질투가 심해 and 게임을 보면 질투가 나서 참을 수가 없어. If you're the jealous type, like I am sometimes, 질투 is for you. 무서워. 무서워 means scary or scared, depending on how you use it. I hate being scared so much, you guys, but I get scared very easily. So it's very important that I know this word. When I am feeling scared, I simply say, 나 진짜 무서워. Some more examples include 나 그 영화 봤어? 완전 무서워. And 나는 고양이가 무서워. Which is actually true for me. I am scared of cats, funny enough. It's the eyes, man.
나 좀 감싸줘. 나 진짜 무서워.
뒤를 봐, 내 뒤를.
짜증. I love this word so much and use it frequently. 짜증 means annoyance and irritation. So, you say this when you're frustrated, annoyed, or irritated. Just like the example sentences show. 조금 짜증나고 변하더라도 참아. You can also say simply 짜증나 when you're working on an assignment or something for school or work and it's just really irritating you. 아, 짜증나. 걱정. This word is similar to 긴장, but 걱정 specifically describes being worried or uneasy. Not scared, not nervous, or tense, but worried. So if you're in a situation that's making you feel very anxious or fearful, that's when you can use 걱정. The most common usage of this word though is when you're telling someone not to worry. In that case, you would say 걱정하지 마. Some more examples with 걱정 are 우리 형은 걱정이 없어 사람이야 and 나는 요즘 걱정이 많아. So you can use it to say that you're not worried if you just use the negative form, which is 난 걱정이 없어 or 저는 걱정이 없어요. Uncomfortable feelings. 심심해. 심심해 means the same thing as being bored. When you have nothing to do or you're feeling incredibly bored, you can use 심심해 to talk about it. Some examples including this word are 나 심심해 and 이 일은 너무 심심해. This is frequently confused with the verb 지루하다. While they do have similar meanings, they are different. 심심해 or the verb 심심하다 means to be bored and is in relation to yourself feeling bored. 지루하다, on the other hand, means to be boring. Similar but different to 심심하다. We use 지루하다 to describe when we think something is boring. So you can say 오늘 정말 심심해요 to say that you're feeling bored today. But don't say 오늘 정말 지루해요. Instead, use 지루하다 to say something like 이 게임이 지루해요. 졸려. I feel this way multiple times a day. No joke. 졸려 is what you say when you feel sleepy. So you can use 졸려 to say things like 나 너무 졸려 or 나는 오후 3시만 되면 졸려. 졸려 and 피곤해 are both used to express when you're just not feeling awake and you're really tired or sleepy.
졸려.
부끄러워. 부끄러워 is how you express yourself when you're feeling embarrassed or your cheeks get hot from embarrassment. Yeah, not the best feeling. I'm sure we have all had embarrassing moments in our lives. You can use 부끄러워 very simply to express when you're feeling this way. Say something embarrassing happens to you. You can simply say, 부끄러워. Another phrase that you can use to express embarrassment is 쪽팔려 or 쪽팔리게. It basically means the same thing as 부끄러워. 쪽팔리게, 쪽팔려. You can just say something like 쪽팔려 to say how embarrassing or how humiliating. If you want to review all of the terms that I mentioned in this video, be sure to download the free PDF download that I made for you in the description below. Now I think you're ready to take on this video right over here. I talk about all of the ways to order food in Korean because food is a great way to get rid of all those negative emotions that I just talked about in this video and bring you all the happy ones that I mentioned. I think you'll really enjoy this video, so I will see you guys over there.